All right, let's now link up with Michael Kenye, who is outside the Stamford Bridge in West London in the United Kingdom. Real Madrid will be the visitors against the champions in 2012 and in 2021. Mike, good afternoon from Kenya. Good morning to you in London. What's the latest from the Stamford Bridge?
Ayub, good morning from here. It's 5 minutes to midday. I think it's 5 minutes to 2 o'clock back in Nairobi, Kenya. It is more than 24 hours before the game, but you will not believe the mood outside the Stamford Bridge. I mean, this is the main entrance, and as you can see, there are so many fans that have already checked in from Madrid, coming to take pictures and all that. And security has been beefed up. Remember, any match day around EPL matches and Champions League matches, the stadium is secured 48 hours before the game. So that's why you're seeing I'm actually doing my link from across the road. I'm just actually in the entrance of Stamford Bridge, but you cannot cross that particular line where the security men are unless you're going for a stadium tour. And even today, there's no stadium tour. The only place you can go to is the fan shop if you want to buy anything from the Chelsea shop. But the mood is already there. I've spoken to a couple of Chelsea fans, and kesho wanasema wanaenda kuchukua autographs za kina Benzema, za kina Thibaut Courtois. They don't see themselves coming back from 2 goals down, especially after what happened over the weekend. But this is what we'll be doing. I'll be attending that match tomorrow. And actually, guys, guess what I found just outside the stadium? Predator. That's what I found in one of the shops just down here. And I arrived late last night. I was feeling quite energized. Actually, after the long trip from Nairobi, I went through Istanbul on Turkish Airways. Those are the guys that have actually given me the ticket for the game tomorrow. But then I was like, I have to do this show. But I found Predator, and actually this thing works. Like, ukikunywa tu hivi kidogo energy inarudi. Unaweza fanya show mpaka kesho sasa, Ayub, if you can hear me.
Mike, before Meg comes in and takes us to the training for the all-time decorated European champions Real Madrid. I mean, talk to us about the chances here, because I'm looking at the odds. It was Roberto Di Matteo who came and within a short span delivered the first Champions League for Chelsea in 2012 against then much touted Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. Then in 2021 we had Thomas Tuchel who came in January and ended up winning the Champions League in May. What are the chances for Chelsea here, for Frank Lampard's new administration and at the dugout?
I think Chelsea, they suffer from confidence crisis. There is a lot of confidence crisis in that team. You can see that's why they're even struggling to score. It's a lot of work to be done by Chelsea. They are playing against Real Madrid, and Real Madrid, for some reason, they are better away from home. When they play at the Santiago Bernabeu, there's a lot of pressure from them because the Madrid stars demand a lot from them. When they play away from home, they are more expressive, they are more easy on the ball. They tend to really disturb their opponents. So remember the last time they were here, they won by almost 3 goals, and people are expecting that the same will be done tomorrow. But this time around, it's quite different because Madrid know what happened the last time. They had a healthy lead going into the Santiago Bernabeu, and Chelsea almost upset them when everybody knew that Madrid is going to go through. But if you look at the form book between the two teams, Madrid have just woken up, especially after that Copa del Rey 4-0 thrashing of Barcelona. Everybody sat back and said, have they gotten their groove back? And then they've won 2 more matches in the league after that. Chelsea, on the other hand, after that loss, double loss in the English Premier League. So there's a lot of pressure on this Chelsea side. And like Frank Lampard said, they are going in there knowing that anything can happen. They'll go enjoy themselves. If they get the goals, well and good. If they don't get the goals, too bad. They look at what they have in store for next season, because even qualifying for the next Champions League is a problem now because they're very far off. Wako page 2, the league tables. Stera wouldn't want to hear that. Steve Stera, a very big fan of Manchester United. Of Chelsea, would not like to hear that. But being on page 2 already with less than 10 games to go, it means they have to win every game. And when you're losing those games, confidence goes down. And even the players, there are players who think, well, let me just finish the season. Somebody else will come for me. Chelsea will cash in and sell me, then I'll be able to play in the Champions League. So looking at the permutations for that game, it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea to advance to the next round. This one is Madrid written all over it for the semi-finals. Ayub.
Mike, Meg here. I know you're a big supporter, me and you, of Real Madrid. But also remember, Chelsea right now, the only cup they're fighting for right now is the Champions League. Right here. Yeah. Of course, Real Madrid has not been doing very well with the Madrid CL. But how do you predict this game?
there's a reason why Karim Benzema is called Mr. European Champions League. There's a reason why Madrid, when they hear that Champions League anthem, something really sparks in them. Then knowing that they cannot win the La Liga title because 10 points behind Barcelona at this stage of the league, unless calamity strikes, Barcelona are not going to lose that league. So they will always want to go for a double. Copa del Rey is considered a bonus. But what Real Madrid fans always want is another Champions League. 14 trophies, and yet they still want another one. I got a chance to pass through, it's called the Champions League Museum at Istanbul airport. They've done such a nice sort of a museum where every Champions League final, because Turkish Airlines are the sponsors of Champions League, and every other final, they get to pick out the kit from the players, from the shirt to the short to the stocking. So everything is signed and put in there. And you can guess what? The room is dominated by Real Madrid, especially from around 2016, 17, 18, Istanbul, Kiev, and in Paris last year. They have dominated the memorabilia that is there. And Real Madrid and Champions League, that is what they want. Number 15 is what they're going for now, because they want to put clear daylight between themselves and the other clubs, knowing that they're the greatest team to ever play in the Champions League. So their fans are already here, and they are buying tickets even on the home side. You know, normally they get allocation for the away side, which is less than 10,000 tickets of the full stadium, but they don't care which ticket they get. They say, I want a ticket for that game. Even if I'm sitting with Chelsea guys, let me witness history being made. And they're already singing. I can hear them from here, because this is Stamford Bridge right behind me. And if you go further down, like 200 meters on the left-hand side, is where the Fulham Stadium is. They are quite nearby. It's like from the end of Malim Juma Road, where you join in from Dennis Pritt Road up to the end. It's very short distance. 300 meters between the two stadiums is what separates them. So we expect a very interesting game between Chelsea and Real Madrid tomorrow, because Chelsea will come at Madrid with everything else. They'll throw even the hook line sinker, the kitchen sink, everything else at Real Madrid. But knowing Madrid, they like that pressure. You come at them, they come at you harder. So it's going to be a very interesting match tomorrow, Meg.
Good afternoon. I think the 5 minutes are over. Maybe you talked about confidence. Going back to the first leg, Chelsea produced a stellar performance despite losing 2-0 with a man less. Maybe which are some of the changes Ambazo Lampard may be doing in his squad ahead of the tomorrow encounter?
Thank you, Lukman. That's a very interesting question, because talking to Chelsea fans themselves, if you ask them what changes they would want to see, because they have a big squad, they've bought a lot of players, they have quality in their team, they don't know. They say Lampard has been experimenting with all his teams. They don't know how they train. So they don't know their first 11, which is actually their best first 11 to start the game. So that is where the problem comes in, because you don't know who Lampard will bring in. So if he tries to experiment again on this other game, it's going to be a big problem. I actually when I spoke to Chelsea fans and they talked about that. I've had the conversation in studio when you're talking about who is the favorite to win the FKF Premier League. And I think it's too early days to have that conversation. Carlos Alasia should be able to tell us why they went to sit on stones. They were already anticipating a beating in Bukungu. For AFC fans, if you go back to that clip that you played, you can see at one point they are sitting on construction stones. What do you expect from a team that denied them the title last year? Because AFC Leopards beat them when they needed to win, when Kakamega Homeboys needed to win. So if you go back to FKFPL, many games to go, but the problem that Chelsea have right now is the same problem that Jonathan McKinstry of Gor Mahia is having. He didn't have players. He's assigned 6 quality players. Now he's dancing around with his lineup. Look at what happened yesterday. Gor Mahia leading 2-0 at halftime. Then you take out Austin Odhiambo, one of the greatest midfielders and one of the guy who is the instrument, the engine behind the goals that they get. I don't understand what McKinstry did there, because you take out your best players, you bring in other players, then the tempo went down, and you could see that Poster would come back in this game. And the moment they scored 1 goal, that was it. They were able to get the equalizer equalizer at the death. So a lot of similarities in there, in that Chelsea, we don't know which squad will come out. And unless and until Frank Lampard will know that this is my first 11, this is where I play Mudryk. Do I play him on the wing? Do I play him in the channel? Do I play him behind the strikers? The moment they get to understand where they will play certain players, then maybe that engine will spark into life. But as of now, Real Madrid will sit back. They will watch them because they know they will come hard at them. So they will soak in the pressure in the beginning. But then remember, they've got those very quick players on the wings. You've got Rodrigo on the right. Valverde might be playing on the right. Vinicius Jr. on the left. Benzema in the middle. These are players with a lot of pace. And if they use the same tactics they used against Barcelona, it might be a massacre here at the Stamford Bridge. But we wish them all the best. We'll be here to give you all the reactions and everything else. I'll actually start doing my story from today. I'll come back in the evening to just see who is looking for tickets, who is hunting down those tickets, because Madrid will come to train here today in the evening at the Stamford Bridge. Then tomorrow, nice and early, we'll be here to check out the fans as they come in and then get their views, the vox pops on what they expect. So before and after the game, that is what we'll do. So very interesting story that we'll be doing here. Very first time, actually, it's my second time to cover the Champions League. The first time was the final, which was played in at Wembley here in London. That was Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich 2013, and Bayern were able to win that game. So I hope that this time around we'll be able to see a great game, and we'll get a story for you. When we speak again next week on Monday Football, I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about on that one. Good morning, Stu.
Hi, Mike. This is Mercy Marshall. Thank you. Mini fan wa Real Madrid. At least umetupea hope like ma Real Madrid fans. Umeongea kama Real Madrid fan, by the way. So swali yangu ni, both umesema Chelsea are struggling, pia Real wamekuwa kistruggle. Ukiangalia sana ligi ya Spain, like ishaenda na Barcelona, tumekuwa tukistruggle sana pale nyuma. Defense yetu it's somehow haiko steady sana. Ukiangalia hiyo game ya Chelsea pale Santiago Bernabeu, Kamavinga was so low, like Samo alikuwa na pressure, Sames Vinicius Jr. pale mbele alikuwa na pressure sana. So nilikuwa nauliza, how's the atmosphere hapo, like una feel ni timu gani iko na uzito? Na ukiangalia pia as in head to head, Chelsea na Real pale Stamford hatujakuwa na winning strike iko juu than Chelsea wamekuwa kitulemea kiasi, like tunatoka draw, tunatoka 1-0, wanatushinda pia. Now that tuko Stamford, unaona ni wapi tunaenda kushindia hii game? Like mimi niliona Vinicius ali-struggle, Benzema kiasi alipotea kidogo. So unaona ni wapi tunaenda kushindia hiyo game like Real Madrid? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I will answer you in the words of one friend of mine called Jeff Mutinda. Jeff Mutinda is a very big fan of Real Madrid. He tells you will not see Karim Benzema in the game. The only time you will see him is when the ball is in the net. That is the hallmark of a goal poacher. Remember, Vinicius Jr. needs half a chance. One-on-one, he will take on you and he will move. Chelsea like to use Reece James, and that's why Real Madrid really want to buy Reece James as a fullback, because he's got those whipping crosses and he's very good at tracking back. But will they risk Reece James moving forward, knowing that Vinicius is lacking there? This ground has been good to Real Madrid. The last time Real Madrid scored 3 goals here, and everybody thought it's finished, only to go to Santiago Bernabeu, and the pressure was on Real Madrid because Chelsea came hard at them. It only took a goal from Real Madrid to calm down the nerves of the fans, the Madrid stars. So they know what is in store, they know what to expect, but if there's a team that thrives in pressure, is Real Madrid. They love that pressure. Playing under pressure is one of the things that they do the best. And that's why when they come across the big hitters, the big teams in Europe, they will win easily because that pressure is much and it raises their game. And La Liga, Real struggle against the smaller teams, the so-called smaller teams. Teams are page 2, kama Chelsea kusonga chini in the EPL. So if that is what Chelsea will use, study the blueprint of the smaller teams. Where have they hit Madrid and succeeded in it? But when you are too tactical with Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti is a master tactician. He will know what to do. But if you are afraid spirit and you play your game the way you're supposed to play. Look at the last game that Real Madrid lost at Santiago Bernabeu. That guy called Chukwueze from Nigeria. Chukwueze is a player that does not have a particular role in his team. He's given the ball and he's told just play, enjoy yourself. And he terrorized Real Madrid. So do we have a ball player that can do the same at Chelsea? Yes, Mudryk given a chance, he can do that. Mason Mount given a chance, he can do that. But will they get that chance? That is the biggest problem that Chelsea will have. And remember, one chance up front for Real Madrid, they score one goal, the equation changes totally. The first goal of the game will decide the direction of the tie. If they score first, if Chelsea score first, game on. It's going to be a very interesting game. If Real Madrid score first, then it will put paid to Chelsea's hopes because they'll have to attack more and not defend. And when you open up the game against Real Madrid, you're in trouble.
Like a final, considering both teams are under pressure, the coaches are under pressure. But anyway, we shall find out because I know you'll prepare that and more. Talking of EPL, nimesikia kuna team iko under 10 ama ni under 5.
Page 2.
Page 2.
Ya report form.
Wako page 2 ya report form.
There's a beautiful Chelsea fan here.
I'd like to, let's engage a Chelsea
fan.
And
the gentleman pia wa Makarao.
Cope.
Wewe unaonaje hiyo maneno Stamford Bridge?
Yes.
Yes, chukua
What do you feel about tonight's game with
tomorrow's night?
Tomorrow's night game with the
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is, as I said earlier, I'm Luton James on social media. So tomorrow might be, unasemanga kuteleza kwa nyani ama kuvunjika kwa mwiko si mwisho wa kupika ugali. We still have a chance. The last let's say 5 games Real Madrid wamekuja Stamford Bridge. I think they got only 1 win. So tomorrow might be the day. We might make history again. We might knock them 3-0. Nobody knows. So the only thing here is to trust the process. We have Lampard. Before we had Di Matteo in 2012. When he won that cup, that trophy, we were still not on form. He came as an interim coach. He took the Champions League Cup. We had Tuchel. He still had players who had not gelled well. We had the likes of Havertz. We had the likes of Werner, Kai. They didn't play that much.
Now, you've said Lampard has been there for sure. He's so passionate about this team. So passionate.
Sure.
Ni changes gani you think he should do? Na ni wapi? Ni mid? Ni defense? Where do you think anafaa focus sana nayo, considering this is not a small game either? Both teams want to prove a point.
We have the likes of as you said earlier, Ayub said it. We have the likes of Mudryk. When you give him the ball, he has pace. He can do marvelous. We have Mason Mount. That's the son of Lampard. So we're expecting him. He'll start tomorrow. So we have still a chance.
Patia ujamaa wa Arsenal Mike hapa chini. Na unasema anawashwa kusema.
Tuko majirani.
Kwa majina ni Mheshimiwa Steve Mariga.
Ati mheshimiwa.
Fanzu mkubwa wa Arsenal hapa Kenya niko FC Leopard Ingwe ya Matere. Kulingana na mimi ndugu yangu amesema ati Luton amesema ati ako na hope. Mimi pia ningependa sana timu za England ziwakilishe vizuri sana katika Champions. But sijui ni kwa nini Chelsea ndio wako na players wazuri, hata vile umemuuliza swali ati wafanye nini. Sioni players mbaya kwa Chelsea sasa hizi, wamenunua top players. But Awatoboi.
Mwenzako anaweza
Unaona Chelsea Awatoboi?
Chelsea leo.
I don't want to sound a bit Arsenal fan,
yes,
but I have some analysis. Just go ahead kwanza.
Wacha tusikie your Arsenal fan, mwenzako anasema nini?
So, good afternoon. I am Ben Bensons, fan sugu wa Arsenal. Na nikiangalia hiyo game ya Chelsea already washatoka. Kiangalia they are weak kuanzia kipa mwenyewe sijui unaweza mkompea ni kama nisitumie jina ya Manchester fan anaweza ni Maguire ni kama Maguire tu, lakini mimi nasema Chelsea for now inajaribu, lakini Real Madrid is a better team na hakuna venye Chelsea itakuja ipige Chelsea au hakuna venye Chelsea itakuja ipige Real Madrid Yeah.
Hebu
Wacha tusikie mrembo, yeah.
wacha tusikie mrembo pia yeye naona ni wa Chelsea na anawashwa kidogo.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Mimi naitwa Melodica Felipe Calypso. Chelsea fan, FC fan, Buruburu branch. So, Chelsea now this season tumelemewa. Lakini Lampard amejaribu sana.
Amejaribu.